Good morning. Today I want to show you one of the biggest reasons why 99% of people stay poor forever, okay? And the reason they stay poor is because they were conditioned to think that house is their biggest asset, okay? But in fact, in reality, when you have a little bit more of financial education, like you are having right now, okay? You are going to notice that if house is your biggest asset, then being poor shouldn't make sense. But in reality, it's completely different, okay? When you think about your parents, or let's say you as well, and 99% of other people on the planet, you are going to see that they are poor even though they are having like multiple houses and then vacation houses and I don't know, cars and fancy clothes and whatever, okay? But they are still poor. They still have to go to work and work for that money, and they are just generally without any financial freedom whatsoever, okay? Because their scale looks like this, okay? They have more liabilities than they have assets, okay? And within those liabilities is also their own house where they live in, okay? So today I'm gonna hopefully challenge your mindset a little bit. I'm gonna explain you why the house is actually not an asset but a liability, and hopefully, yeah, you will be better than 99% of people. Okay, let's go, man. So basically, who am I? My name is Yasha, and I help people increase their cash flow while reducing the risk when they are investing in whatever they are investing into, okay? Now, the first link in the description is going to take you to my website that you can see right now here on the screen. And when you click here on start, this is going to take you to a free meeting with me where we can basically meet each other and then discuss your goals, what you want to achieve, what your current situation is, and then hopefully we can work together in a project that I am having right now, okay? So click the first link and let's meet. Okay, but with that being said, let's now proceed, okay? Since you were 6 years old, bro, you have been completely brainwashed to think that normal life is something that looks like this, okay? For example, you go to school, you study hard, you get good grades, then you find a good job because you got the good grades in school, right? And then with this job, you can basically buy your house, you can buy a car, you can pay holidays, which are probably like 2 weeks in the whole year, okay? And then you are going to live that lifestyle forever and you should be happy, okay? But the more you think about it, the more this looks like some fucking brainwashing scam, okay? You are probably right now around 20 years old, which means you have been brainwashed and conditioned to think that way for the past 14 fucking years, okay? And let me tell you something. If you listen that advice that those broken, poor and desperate teachers are trying to brainwash you into, meaning you are going to have good grades, good job, and then a house, that is a one-way ticket to what? To this. This is a one-way ticket to rat fucking race, okay? If you are watching my videos, bro, you know that rat fucking race is something that we absolutely want to avoid, okay? So therefore, if we are listening to our teachers who tell us, okay, house is your biggest asset, you should study hard, you should buy a car, get a good job, and then house eventually, we are going to stuck like those fucking rats, okay? And I'm gonna show you why, okay? So most people don't know the difference between assets and liabilities, okay? And in order to describe the difference, okay, we are going to draw a so-called cash flow chart, okay, which is going to look like this. It's basically a cross with 4 fields, okay? Here you have income, here you have outcome, here you have assets, and here you have liabilities, okay? Oh shit, sorry for that, bro. Here you have liabilities. Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, income is all of the money that you get, okay? This is your salary, this is your side hustle, your business, whatever extra cash that you are getting, it goes to income, okay? Outcome are all of your costs, meaning your rent, your food, your dates, your car payments, your house payments, I mean mortgage payments, whatever money that goes out of your pocket is outcome, okay? And now the difference between assets and liabilities is very simple, okay? Assets give you the money, okay? While liabilities take your money. It's that simple, okay? So whenever you are thinking about something, whether it's an asset or liability, just constantly ask yourself, is this thing giving me money in my pocket, or is it taking money out of my pocket, okay? And now let's think about the house for a little, okay? You buy a house and then you live in that house. Does that house give you money or takes your money? Think about it a little bit. For example, here is my parents' flat, okay, where I live right now. So, do my parents have income with that money, with that house or flat, or do they have outcome with that flat? Same with your parents. Do they have income or outcome? 99% of people are going to say, yeah, it's our biggest asset. No, it's not. It's actually a liability. Why? Because your fucking flat, okay? I mean, flat of your parents is actually costing them money, okay? Because they have to pay electricity, they have to repair something when something is broken, okay? They have to pay the water, they have to pay the sanitary costs, for example, that they take the rubbish bin out, and just basically a whole lot of costs. And the house that they live in is taking money out of their pockets. So therefore, by definition, it should be a liability, okay? Look, a liability, not an asset. So it would become an asset if that house would come here by, for example, renting it out, okay? For example, if the flat that you live in would have tenants inside, then it would bring rental income and then it would become an asset, okay? For example, if your parents tell you, okay, look, we are going to move to our grandma's house, okay, because we want to have some additional income, so we are going to rent out our flat, then it becomes an asset. But if you live inside a flat or inside your own house, then it's a liability. It's that fucking simple, okay? So constantly ask yourself, is my house going to bring me money or take my money away, okay? Now, obviously, you are thinking right now, what should I do? Okay, what the F should I do now? Okay, because you have to live somewhere, okay? Look, you have an advantage that you saw this video way earlier than your parents, okay? So therefore, you avoided a massive disaster. So chances are, if you are watching this, you also want to have your own business, you want to pursue your entrepreneurial dreams, you want to work for yourself, and you want to be financially free, okay? Therefore, you have to live an uncommon life, okay? Common life is for people, but uncommon life is for us, because we want to have something more, okay? Therefore, you have to start asking yourself the following questions. Are you currently working? If you are a student, chances are not, okay? So you are staying at your parents' house, most likely. So when you stay at your parents' house, bro, that's the biggest blessing that you can have. Why? Because you will have free rent and free food, okay? So that means that you can basically focus all your energy on your business, making money online, and then eventually get financially free. It's that simple, bro. You have zero costs, you have zero liabilities. Your house is not an asset because you don't own it, because you live with your parents. It's that simple, okay? Now, if you have a partner, okay, obviously you cannot live with your parents, because living with your parents and having a partner is a little bit pain in the ass, bro. Trust me from my own experience. So you have to work a little bit, okay? Unfortunately, you have to take a job, just like I did, work a couple of years, or at least until you can survive at least 1 year with your savings, okay? For example, I was working for 2.5 years, full-time job, and I managed to get enough money to survive 3 years with my own savings, okay? So that's why I am pursuing my dreams right now. So you do the same, okay? Now, if you live alone, sorry, then you just have to like lower your ego a little bit and then move back to your parents so that you can focus on your dreams while living for free, okay? Now, if you are still living alone but you don't want to move to your parents, then you can just house hack, which basically means that you share your flats with other people, okay? You have, let's say, different rooms and you share the rooms with others. It's that simple, okay? And then while you are doing all this, okay, while you are solving your housing situation, you are obviously either working and investing your money to buy assets, not fucking vodka and alcohol and room and go partying and having fun and ha ha ha. No, okay, because you want to start your independent, financially free way. You want to start walking on that path, okay? So you have to take certain chances, okay? Moving back to your parents is the first major chance where people are just going to look at you with weird faces, because when you are 20 years old, you should already live on your own, and you shouldn't live with your parents and all that bullshit, okay? That's why 99% of people are poor, because they are following that advice, okay? Now, you don't buy vodka, you buy assets, okay? And eventually those assets are going to generate you enough cash flow so that then you can basically buy your own house, okay? Now remember, when you are buying your own house, you should take as little debt as possible, okay? You should lower the liability, because you are going to lose fucking money, okay? Luckily for us in Europe, our houses and flats are relatively small, around 100, from 70 to 100 square meters, okay? So we are blessed. But if you're watching this from United States, bro, when your houses are at least 150 square meters, which means around 1,500 square feet, then just lower your fucking expenses, okay? Get a smaller house. People will look at you weirdly, but you don't give a fuck, because you want to have financial freedom, which they will never achieve, okay? So it's a win-win situation in any case for you. Okay, so bro, that's basically it, man. Like, there is nothing too much to talk about, okay? A house is a liability because you see here that arrow, it takes money out of your pocket instead of bringing money into your pocket, because you have costs with your own house. It's that simple, okay? Now, again, bro, if you want to double your monthly income while reducing your risk and being at the same time independent from stock market crashes, and also if you want to start using other people's money to make your own money, then again, here is the website. Click here on the start, okay? You can access the website in the first link. We are going to talk about it and then we can see what we can do, okay? So hopefully I'm gonna see you soon. Take care, champion, and do the hard work, and see you on top of the world.